Hi everybody, welcome back. It has been a while. I don't know if I've had a break as long as this one since I started YouTube, which seems like it was a really long time ago now. But I guess I'm sitting here and I'm filming a video. The break wasn't intentional and this video is going to be a bit of a catch up, so go and grab a brew. You know I all like to waffle, you all know I like to waffle, especially if I've not been around in a while. I've also had a bit of time off posting on Instagram. I do quite a bit on my stories, but sometimes I just find it so overwhelming. And there's been quite a lot going on in the background, just day-to-day life really, and it's just been kind of the last thing that I've wanted to do is to be sat in front of a camera, and I never feel like I'm good enough. I've not got much self-confidence, and sometimes I filmed a few videos to upload, and when I was watching them back I just thought this isn't what I want to put out there. This isn't a version of me that I like. I just wasn't in the right space, and I just didn't want to put content out there that people are potentially going to watch and spend minutes of their life watching that I was almost embarrassed about. I just wanted to feel like I was posting the stuff that I wanted to post. So there's a few changes being made here and there, but I thought I'm not just going to go straight into another video or post a vlog from 3 months ago without sitting here and telling you all what's been going on. Basically, it's nothing very exciting, I will say that now. If you're expecting a big drama, then I'm sorry, but I don't have, well, it's a good thing I suppose, but I don't have a really interesting story to tell you all. There's just been a lot going on. I'm just going to turn the brightness up because I feel like the colour's a bit off. But as I say, you'll have to bear with me because I haven't done this in a while, and I also put this t-shirt on because I thought a lot of you might like it. It's from ASOS. I'm pretty sure it'd still be available. It's just got a sun and a moon on it, but you can't actually see it when I sit down properly. So that's there anyway. I've made a list of stuff to chat to you about. It is Monday today. I'm not sure when I'll post this, quite soon hopefully, but Monday tends to be the day that I get, well, I was meant to have as my day where if I had things to do that it's not as easy with a baby in tow, I would go and do them, or if I wanted to kind of edit, I would edit or write. Obviously I've not been doing any of that really, and it tends to be, I feel less now, but I was feeling so much if Tom was at home and he had Rupert, I just wanted to be with them both. And to be honest, when I look back and I think, there are so many people that, because I know that when a baby is tiny, there's so much content that I could have put out there that I still hope to. It's just a bit backdated. There's so much that I could put out there and I want to share with everybody, and people message me asking me questions and stuff like that, and I always try and get back to everybody, but I know that I could have been a lot more helpful and a lot more present, but in a way, and I see other people that, and I take my hat off to them, that post quite regularly when they've got a really tiny baby. But it just wasn't me. I posted when I could, when I felt like it, but it was all so new to me, and I just wanted to be in that bubble for as long as possible. And it's only really now, and he's 10 months in a couple of weeks, that I feel like I can get a bit more time back for myself now that he's been a bit more independent and he's awake for a lot longer during the day. There's a lot less he doesn't just sleep on me all day every day, if that makes sense. So the first point that I wanted to talk to you about was the fact that he's nearly 10 months old. I've started thinking about his first birthday, about presents, just dropped my list. It just seems ridiculous, and it just goes so quickly, and the development in 10 months, the fact that he just used to literally live here all day every day, to now he's roaming around, he's pulling himself up on furniture, he's really good at independent play, and weaning has taken a turn for the better. I feel like this is a whole other video, and I am aware of that. Lots of these points will lead off into other videos or blog posts, but just to touch on subjects, we kind of hit a bit of a wall with weaning, and he just didn't seem that interested in food. And I feel like when people talk about weaning, it's such a massive thing, and people expect babies to just get it straight away, oh, they eat now, but it doesn't go like that. And I think unless you've been through it, it's almost like you kind of sold a different picture to what it's actually like. But that's another whole story. But he's doing so well, and he's just my little left leg really. We take him to quite a few creeps. They're kind of off at the moment because it's the summer holidays, but he goes swimming, he goes to tumble tots, he goes to little like messy playthings and stuff like that. He started to get really kind of interested in going to the zoo. Like, he's much more aware of what's going on now, and he's like, you know, wants to kind of see everything. And yeah, he's just, I'm going to do like a 1 year update for Rupert. 10 months is kind of a bit of a strange age to do that, but he is coming on leaps and bounds. His favourite vegetable, I would say, to eat at the moment is peas, or are peas. He eats them one by one. Sometimes he lets me give them him off a spoon, but he much prefers to pick them up. I think it's fun for him. It takes ages for him to get through a portion of peas, but hey ho. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that we've just been, a few weeks ago, to Devon for our first kind of like proper family holiday. We decided to stay in this country because I just wanted to get to kind of experience going away with all of his stuff. Here, where we had the car, we could buy milk and nappies that we regularly use. You know, we know what we needed, and from like shops that we normally go to, and it just felt like a lot less stress. And as I say, there's been so much going on that it just made it feel a little bit more approachable. So that's something else that I'm going to, like, anywhere that we went that I'd recommend, I'm going to pop it all in a blog post and stuff like that. But we had such a lovely time, and I honestly can't recommend Devon enough. And it's given me the confidence now to be like, we could so get on a plane, not a very long plane journey, but we could so get on a plane with him and go and you know, go on holiday further afield, especially now that he's no longer in the sleepyhead, which was like a big thing for us. He was in the sleepyhead from being newborn, and then when he was like 5.5 months, we bought the next one up because we tried a little bit without it and it was a nightmare. So we bought the next size up, and then he probably stopped using it just a couple of weeks ago, so maybe when he was about 9 months old. We just noticed in his cot there's like a little bit at the end that the sleepyhead didn't cover, so it was just the cot mattress, and we were starting to notice that he was just every night sleeping in this little patch, and we were just like, maybe he doesn't want to sleep in the sleepyhead anymore. I don't know whether he was getting too hot, or whether he just preferred the cot mattress. So one night I was actually at IKEA, which is another video that I'm going to film today. I was at IKEA and Tom just took it away, and ever since then he's not had it. So I've washed all of it and boxed it up and packaged it up to go in the loft for if we're lucky enough to have another at some point. But it just felt like it was like a massive thing. He just grew out of it. I would have been happy if he wanted it till he was 2. Don't think he would have fit in it, to be fair. I'd have, you know, I was so thinky about kind of weaning him off it and how am I going to take it away and what do I do about this, really because of the travel thing. You know, how do I get this on the plane? But he just was growing out of it, I suppose, himself. So where should I go next? I don't know, I feel like there's a lot on this list. This could be potentially a long video. An IKEA haul is coming up. I have that was the last video I posted actually, so I better break that up a little bit. I've also got a vlog from my birthday and a vlog from Devon. I've not edited the Devon one yet. But I've got my birthday vlog. Now my birthday was in June and I don't know whether I should share it or not. I think it's quite a nice video, so I might still pop it up. I think what I'm going to do is just post those 2 videos that obviously were filmed quite a while ago, and then we can start afresh, because while I've had this little hiatus, I haven't been vlogging and I feel like I'm really missing out filming him, even if it's just for me and Tommy and Rue to look back on when he's older. And I do really enjoy vlogging. It's just when I get out of the swing of it, I might have the swing of it. So hopefully that will pick up again. And what else? I've done all of that. Oh, he's got 4 teeth as well. I think he's teething pretty badly at the moment as well. So yeah, so I am working on a new logo for my blog and like YouTube and stuff like that. Just kind of want to update everything. I feel like I'm a completely different person to what I was when I had my last logo made, and sometimes when I have a bit of a break and I like want to start up again, I just feel like it's nice to kind of start afresh and kind of put a new stamp on everything. So I'm just waiting on that before I start posting on the blog again. But to be honest, it's taken a while, and I might just like bite the bullet and just start posting and then just change everything, because there's a lot that I want to say and I've got posts ready and waiting to go. Tommy is 30 at the end of this month, so I'm planning his birthday party. I don't know why I do it to myself. These kind of situations really stress me out and make me quite anxious, but I always do it to myself. But yeah, I think it's quite a big one, isn't it? And we're just going to have like our kind of like closest family and friends over to the house, so that it's good for Rupert's nap time, so that he can be asleep when they're here and things like that, only obviously when he's due asleep. And it just works quite well. I think we're literally just going to get Domino's, and then I might get some like big things of chicken or something and salad from M&S, just so it's really easy and we're not stuck in the kitchen for the entire time, and we can just enjoy actually being around people and have a nice day. Hopefully it'll be nice weather. It's the end of August, so it should still be quite nice. I feel like I've put this off to last because it's like the one that's the hardest to talk about, but for the past couple of months I've not been in the best place. And if you've been around for a while and you followed me for a while, you'll know that a few years ago I really struggled with depression and anxiety, and like I just had really low days. And I've had low days, but like I can't really quite put my finger on it. I think everyone has their own like situation and reason for things, and I think for me at this point it's just a completely like lost sense of myself. And Rupert was getting a bit more independent, or is getting more independent, and it was kind of getting to the point where I was like, I'm ready to have something back for myself, and you know, I want to feel a bit more comfortable in my clothes. I can't just keep using the excuse, well I can, but I don't really want to keep using the excuse of, oh, I've just had a baby. I'd start feeling a bit more confident in the clothes that I was wearing, and I don't know, it wasn't anything, it wasn't because I was struggling with Rupert. It was like when he was asleep I was kind of sat there like, what do I do with myself? It's like I'd forgotten how to be me when I'm not with Rue, if that makes sense. Like if I ever had a couple of hours where I went to town without him or anything like that, I'd just be like, I want to be at home with Rue. And I just didn't really know what to do about it, and it was getting worse and worse and worse. And I stopped posting videos, I stopped posting on the blog, I stopped uploading to Instagram, and I just got really kind of I don't know, like introverted back into myself. And just if I ever feel like that, I just kind of switch off from everything. I don't reply to messages, I don't kind of interact with anything like that. And I don't know, I could feel myself getting kind of lower and lower, and I thought, if I don't do something about this soon, because nobody else is going to do anything about it for me, then we're going to be in trouble and it's going to start impacting other people. So I decided enough was enough, and I just couldn't let it go on for much longer. My eating habits were terrible, and some of you might not know this if you're new to this channel, and it's something that I struggle at the moment to talk about, but I had gastric sleeve surgery a couple of years ago, and I lost a lot of weight with it. And I feel like because since having Rupert I've put on a couple of stone. I think I actually weigh more now than I did when I was pregnant. But I just, there's something complex there for me, where I had lost, you know, so much weight and gained some body confidence and was feeling in a much better mental state with it all. And then I obviously had Rupert, and I was just left with a body that didn't feel like my own. But I feel like people expected me to snap back into shape and be a lot less, a lot smaller than I am, because I've had the weight loss surgery, and it like put quite a bit of pressure on. And I just was, the biggest thing I struggled with pre-surgery was my kind of relationship with food, and that I'd snapped out of that when I started losing the weight and I was going to the gym, and you know, that replaced that comfort for me. But then since having Rue, I completely, like in those newborn days and the whole breastfeeding thing, I completely turned back to food for comfort, and I'm just now trying to break that cycle again, and it's so difficult. I don't know if I've explained that very well, and if you want a whole different video on any of this, just let me know in the comments. But I just knew something had to change because it was affecting so much, and there's a few other things going on that was just making my mood not how I would want it to be, and not how I was certainly going to portray it on Instagram. I feel like I'm very honest, and if I'm having a bad day and I want to post about it, I'll post about it. But I don't want to sit here like, oh, these are my favourites for this month, when really I've just been feeling crappy all month. So changes that I've made. I started doing Catch to 5k. Now I'm not going to become one of those fitness channels. I know when I was in that bad place or feeling low, if I saw someone was going out doing a run or they were in the gym, it made me feel worse, like jealous. Like it made me a not nice, not the version of myself that I would like to be. It brought out all these feelings that I'm not used to, and I'm just not that way inclined. And it made me feel bad. So I don't want any of you to feel like that. I don't want to sit here and go, I'm doing Catch to 5k and I'm doing so well and I've lost this much weight, because I know how it makes me feel when I see other people doing that. That might just be something in my head, I don't know. But if any of you have any questions, or you want like a little kind of like update on that, or if it's something that you are interested in, then obviously, but I'm not just going to preach about it. Also, the fact that I'm only on week 2, so I've got quite a way to go. I think it's 9 weeks in total, but so far I'm really enjoying it. I was so worried about what people thought of me. I didn't want to run in public. I'm so unfit. I had not been to the gym in months. Just lost all confidence, but we're on week 2 now, halfway through week 2, and I'm really enjoying it. And I'm actually surprising myself at how it's nice to have a challenge and like a focus. So if you're thinking about doing it, then I'm really enjoying it. So I'd say it's worth a go. I do it with one of my sisters, which helps massively. I think I'm not sure I would have had the confidence to go out and do it on my own. Anyway, that's that. I'm also trying to cut out all the rubbish, so I've kind of like substituted my morning biscuit time for one Belvita, and there's these protein shakes that they're called Bear Bells, and they just taste like chocolate milkshake. It doesn't taste like a protein shake because I'm not into like anything proteiny in that way whatsoever, like protein bars and stuff like that. I don't like all the weird like health food. I don't know, I wish I did, because it would be easier, I think. And then I've like given up rich tea completely. I had my last one on the way back from Devon, which was like over a month ago, and I haven't had one since, and that craving has gone. I think I was getting a bit addicted and I've broken that off. I'm just trying to have a Freddo at night with a brew, because I've always got Slimming World in the back of my mind because I did that for so long. So yeah, I've just tried to substitute my constant biscuit and chocolate snacking throughout the day with like fruit and one Velveeta, and instead of having like a toasty tea cake or a bagel or toast for my breakfast, I'm having porridge or Weetabix or a banana. Also breaking up any of the big stuff. So if I'm like, oh my god, this week we've got this and this to do, if I really break that down into like smaller things and not thinking to myself I have to do it all in one day, because you don't have to do it all in one day, surprisingly. It's taken me this long to work that out. And also not giving a reason. This is what I've been trying to do recently, not giving a reason when I've said no to somebody or no to something. So if someone said, can you do something on this day, or can we come round, or this and the other, I literally say no. Or I can't that day, and apologise, or can we rearrange, rather than being like, oh I can't, I'm doing this and this. Because I just think to myself, and I don't know whether this makes me sound like an absolute cow, but I just think, why should I don't have to tell people why, I can't do it, unless it's obviously something that's a bit more sensitive, or if it's not appropriate. Like I would never turn around, I'd always give Tom's grandma a reason why I couldn't see her that day, but I just feel like I need to justify myself less, and it'll help me in the long run. And with that, I've been saying yes to a lot more things, and I've been saying no to a lot more things. And tying into that, I've not been doing it for very long. So again, it's like the Catch to 5k. I'm not going to sit here and be all preachy about it, because it's literally, I'm still in like the first kind of month that I've been doing it. But I've gone back to counselling. So years ago, I had a few counselling sessions. I was kind of sent there through my doctor, didn't get on with the one that I had through my doctor. Found one privately, didn't get on with her either. She was lovely, very good at what she did. It just wasn't my cup of tea. It just wasn't what I wanted out of counselling. And there'd be quite a few times at the end of the session that she would say, right, close your eyes and pretend you're on a beach. And I'd just be like, but I'm in your summer house at the end of your garden. Like I couldn't get past that. I don't have that. I think I was too uptight and too anxious to be able to really let go of everything and picture myself on a beach, as lovely as that would have been. So I did a quick search on, oh, someone's music's for loud. I did a quick search on Google, and there's a website, I think it's like Counsellor Directory or Counsellors Near You, and I've been seeing this lady for a few weeks, and I'm not going for the same reasons that I went a while ago. Years ago, it was like a lifeline, something that I was like, I need to try this because I was so desperate. Whereas now it's more to build confidence, to process stuff that's happened in the past, to just have a chat with somebody else that isn't directly in my everyday situation and life, and just to go and kind of, I don't know, really to gain confidence and just to learn how to deal with different situations and talk about stuff that's happened in the past, really. And I've just been really enjoying, like, I look forward to going, and after every session I feel better. And the lady that I found, she just makes sense. She swears, which I love, because I'm just like, quite often she'll finish my sentence with a swear word and I'm like, yes. And so far it's making a massive difference. I just feel a bit lighter and like better when I come out, if that makes sense. I think it's been a good decision for me to go and do it, and it's helping. So I just wanted to put that out there. Again, if you want a whole video on that, I'm quite happy to talk about it. I feel like there are a lot of people that will be feeling the same way that I was feeling and still do feel on the daily, but I just knew that something had to shift. So that's why I've not been here. I hope all of that made sense. I'm sorry if I've waffled on. I really do hope you made that brew and got yourself a drink and a snack. I am going to film an IKEA haul now. I feel like I'm on a bit of a roll, so I'll get that done and dusted. I'm excited to be back, and if you are still here listening to this, or you have stayed subscribed all this time, then honestly I can't thank you enough. And if you're somebody that follows me on Instagram or that messaged me on Instagram, I just love, I know it sounds really cheesy and cliche, but I hope you know me well enough by now to know that I'm a bit, I don't know, I don't take myself too seriously most of the time. I just love the little community that we've got going on there, and I know it sounds really thingy to say that, but you are what keep me going. Like, on a day-to-day basis, if I post something, someone messages me, you're all my kind of people, and it just makes me feel, I don't know, that's what I like the most about this, is that I feel like I've met so many people through doing this that are all on my level, and it's just nice to kind of have that day-to-day chit chat going on, I suppose. So yeah, I'm going to go because I really am waffling now. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I definitely will see you very soon.